on a Friday, and why not? This is how you do it on day 5 of Road Trip 2021. Hanging out with the guys, the whole cast and crew, Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Charles Talbott, Patrick, and Kaibab. Good to see you guys, as always.
Nice to see
you guys.
Look at this place, man. It's coming right along. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn about this great product, the things that these guys are doing, Colorado born and raised, and then also we're going to go out and get some education in the fields. There's a lot going on in the wine business. Patrick, take it away.
Oh yeah, welcome guys. Thanks for coming in. So today we're going to be tasting Sparklet, our effervescent white wine. This is Colorado's first affordable sparkling wine, and that's what we really set out to do when we built this building. It was a dream that we'd been working on since about 2017. And we made it happen. It was super fun.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys back.
You're the dreamer, man, the vision. What was the vision?
The vision was to make this amazing winery and open our doors and have everybody show up, and it's happening. So that's great. I mean,
so if you build it, they will come.
Well, you know, it's so nice to vertically integrate and take the leap from growing grapes to making wine. It's amazing because now you can share that your grapes with each individual customer, not just the wineries we were selling to before. Now we get to connect with everybody, which is amazing.
This facility is about a year and some change, but fresh off the rack. But you're not fresh off the rack. Talk about your experience and where you've been in this business for quite some time.
We've been farming for the last 21 years here in Colorado, growing grapes, selling them to other wineries. And then Patrick and I partnered 2 years ago and launched Sauvage Spectrum. And we continue to work with our winery partners. Those partnerships are very important. And now we have our own wines that we get to share with everybody as well.
Well, and this is coming from a guy who's 36 years old. And when he says, 21 years of selling this, but you started from the ground up. I mean, who haven't you worked for in this town? Come on.
We worked a lot of different places, and what's really cool about that is that I learned something different at each place that I applied. I took what I liked about each business and put them all together, and I like to think that we have a pretty, we run a pretty
Isn't that really
friendly.
What life is all about? Just that, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, and now I've got that that moment, that aha moment. I mean, you're stepping into that zone right now, too. It's good to see all of you guys doing that same thing. At first blush, he's your neighbor. I mean, talk about this guy for a minute.
I got to know Kaibab probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I'd always known who he was, but once we got to start working on boards together, really got to know the man. Absolutely incredible man. Absolutely incredible wife, and a fantastic viticulturalist. He makes, and he grows varieties a lot of people don't grow. He's willing to take a lot more risk than a lot of people are willing to take. And the grapes, when he gets these grapes to the wineries, the value that they're producing out of these and the quality in the wine, you can completely understand why they're working with Kaibab. He understands the process from top to bottom. He's picking it when it needs to be picked, and he's getting it to them in a timely manner that they can make really good wine out of what they're doing.
Yeah. So not only
Thank you, Charles. That's huge. Thank you, man.
Not only
Absolutely.
partnerships within the community and sourcing and those types of things, but also in relationships, and that's where this gentleman comes into play. Patrick, I mean, in your own right, man, kudos to you. I mean, just take the bow.
I just showed up.
Not at all.
You called me, I picked up.
and so when you get minds like this together, that's where you go kaboom. That's the big bang.
Yeah.
That's where it happens.
We're excited.
It's pretty amazing. He's taken a lot of some of these. We've planted some obscure cold hardy varieties that out of Minnesota. And a lot of wineries were scared to work with him. And I was like, hey, Patrick, that's even how we started our relationship. I was like, hey, take these and do something cool with them. Like, figure out a wine that we can make. And by him doing that, making a good wine, a great wine, it's helped us sell those grapes.
Yeah.
So we've created this brand new market that didn't exist, which is phenomenal.
I know, Brian. I know you are chomping. We're gonna sick Brian on you. But 1 second, and I just have to do this. Thank you to our amazing partners that make this programming possible for you, as we're doing a 1,600-mile loop inside of Colorado to give you these types of stories, and that's what I think makes the Modern Eater so special. It's a 21-day road trip. And you might have seen Sauvage Spectrum at our last year's summer dinner series, their Sparklet line. Man, it was a hit. It's fantastic, but this is exactly what you get when you go to a summer dinner series dinner. All the information will be, not yet, on themoderneater.com. We're going to release that at the beginning of this next week, so stay tuned for that. Patrick, get into that Sparklet.
Yeah, and so here we are as well. We broke into that natural wine scene, and, we're not here saying we're the first to do it. There's some really great Colorado producers, but we're really excited to bring it to the mainstream. So our Pet Nat stands for Pétillant Naturel, and it's a true taste of fermentation because we go ahead and we just bottle the fermentation towards the end of it. It's yeasty, it's hazy. We shake this bottle up. It's psychedelic, and we incorporate those yeasty, leesy flavors, and it's an unstable wine, and people are loving it because we don't add any sulfites. So we're really we're running on that line of doing these natural, conventional wines, but we're also playing around with these natural wines. So it's another way to get more people in these doors.
Go get them, Brian. I'm going to do what you need to be doing right now. These are the stories of Colorado. I'm jumping on my Facebook. I'm going to share this to my personal page and some other groups. If you think people need to see this, we would appreciate you sharing this as well. And then go ahead and throw all of these great brands like Talbott's. You've got a Facebook page and an Instagram. They're both very cool. And Sauvage Spectrum as well. Check them out and make sure you like that too. Get them, Brian.
Well, I wanted for Kaibab to share what he said to me, because one of the things that we spoke about this earlier over at your place, Talbott's, innovation. And that is something, and you're taking innovation in one direction, and you guys are taking innovation in one direction. I just saw this man make what kind of a mimosa ball?
Mimosa
Get
ball.
out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, tell the people, but first, let Kaibab give you the compliment that he shared with me about where you've been. And, go ahead. He's talking about being with all of these incredible front runners like Carboy, like Infinite Monkey, all these people that were really
his past experience absolutely is amazing. I mean, the platform, the stage that he's coming off is great. I mean, to have the opportunity to learn Infinite Monkey theorem, transition to Carboy, and then to bring Patrick in here
and maintain those relationships too, which we work very closely with both of those companies still, and Kaibab especially selling them fruit. So it's been a great balance.
We even have a current collaboration we're doing with Infinite Monkey Theorem, the Ignition Alliance, and we donate 20% of the proceeds to the Wildland Firefighters Foundation. We have this crazy wild label. You want to grab one?
Yeah.
It's a Forest Service badge, but it's the Denver cityscape. There's a lightning bolt hitting. There's a smoke going. There's the slurry bomber coming in. There's 2020 that was a dumpster fire of a year with fire in it.
This sums up 2020 real good.
But there's a message of hope. It's IMT and our buses are driving down a Rainbow Road, which it's showing there's hope in the future, and we're ushering in hope. And so it's a great opportunity to give back to these heroes that are right now out on the, what is that, Pack Creek fire by Moab at 8,500 acres today. Started at 500 acres on Monday, like last Monday. It's fire season, and we need to take care of these guys.
It truly is.
Definitely.
Now that we have an opportunity packed in here 10 seconds ago, that's how it is cycling through, and I can't believe what a great atmosphere you guys have provided. That's $750. We'll collect that on the way out the door. Show us this.
Gift cards.
Show us this right here, and just go through this
Walmart
quickly
gift cards.
if you would, Kaibab.
Yeah, absolutely.
But show us on premise is big right now, and coming in here, you can do that too. Come have your experience, but show us around your bar if you would.
Absolutely. I'm probably not the best guy to do it because, as you can see, I'm the farmer, but that's okay. We have our frosés. These have been crushing, so we take it's a special blend, proprietary blends of wine and passion fruit juice, and put it in a slushy machine. We sell so many of these. People love them, and they're just refreshing. You could come here, sit on inside in our tasting room here, our production facility, outside on the patio. We have an air-conditioned patio. People have been talking about we have the largest patio in Grand Junction, which it's our crush pad, and you guys are going to have to move during harvest, but you're welcome here now.
I think that's what's so cool about where you guys are set up is that your 100% in the production. You're understanding the production. You're seeing it. You're coming into this facility, and it's not like it's a gift shop. Exactly. It is 100%. This is a production facility. You're 100% in tune with the winemaker who's here all the time, with the farmer who's coming in to get his break every once in a while and get himself a froyo. Because we know he has to cool off, right? Yeah, he's out in the summer heat.
Frozen yogurt.
Yeah. So
I
it's such a
needed
cool
it too,
concept.
didn't I? When I came in here, I was sweating bullets.
So you guys touched on the mimosa bombs earlier. You want to make one?
Yep.
Quick. So what we do is we take
Look at this.
frozen orange juice. These are in bomb molds, thus the bomb.
That's how you beat the heat.
You beat the heat right
If you want to
here.
beat the heat or start off early, come on over, Sauvage Spectrum.
Wow.
676, 38 and a quarter.
So we just need a really fancy breakfast burrito. Maybe
Oh,
like a breakfast
hell yeah.
burrito wrapped in a
Mimosa.
crepe.
Yeah.
You guys got the crepe truck
We have a
outside,
microwave,
right?
so we
Try a
can
mimosa.
work on that.
Look at that.
So it's 100% Colorado mimosa, and it's just delicious.
We're gonna send this over to Charles. From
Great way to
Talbott
start your
Cider,
day.
Talbott's wine.
All right, let's see
Centennial
what we
Cellars.
think.
There it is. Do we want to
I
look
mean,
at some
there's
grapes, guys?
0% chance he's going to
Oh
say he
my
doesn't
God.
like it.
The nose on it. The nose on it's unbelievable.
The best part, there's barely any OJ in there.
Okay, we all have our drink. Okay, we need to do this. I don't want to step outside into the 1,000,000-degree heat. But
You don't
we
have to.
And you know why? There's a lot going on right now.
There is.
Growing is an interesting thing, but I want to talk about it with you guys. Let's step outside these doors. And what, 80%
80,
crop devastation?
85%. Yeah.
What?
It's pretty catastrophic.
Already double fisted.
It's
Set the scene. Where are we?
So we're at our estate winery, Sauvage Spectrum. We were just in our production facility / tasting room. Now we're in our estate vineyard. We sit on 9 acres here. Petit Verdot, Malbec, and Roussanne we grow, and then our other vineyards are off premise. This is the site where we grow those varieties.
So this is a great illustration of future and past, of really what's going on here, of what the cleanup process, the replanting process, how you're putting this back together. But just take it from there and show this. I mean, it's an interesting dichotomy of how this is working out. Kaiba.
Devastation.
So Colorado is an amazing place to farm, but Colorado, as everybody knows, can get cold, and it got cold last year. And what happened was it got cold before the vines were ready. It's like going outside without your coat. The vines didn't have a coat on, and they weren't ready for it, and so we lost 85% of our vines, tens of thousands of vines, to the ground. And
Is that like a one-night process or a week, or how do you hang on? I mean, when you saw this coming, what was it like? I mean, it's triage at that point in time, or is there any saving?
It was too cold to do anything. Wind machines, sprinklers, heaters, nothing would have prevented this. Growing more cold-tolerant varieties, which we have a small percentage of that are working well, and that's just a diversification. But this is, you know, when we started farming, we knew what we signed up for. This is going to happen 1 in 20 years, they say, right?
Mother Nature tends to remind you who's in charge.
They do. Yep. That sounds like something your dad said.
It is. It is 100%.
Bruce, I know Bruce well.
So what do you do with that?
Yeah, and this is alive though, right next to
Yeah,
it. though.
pretty
That's-
amazing. This is the same variety. These are younger trunks. These survived 2014. We lost 70% of our vines in 2014. This survived. I'm not sure why. But you can see if you look at that. See that split? The trunks split, and that brown spot right there, that's cumulative trunk damage. That spot, that brown spot.
Say that again.
Cumulative trunk damage.
Okay.
That brown spot is from 14 probably. And it's like
Get
these
down so I can
trunks
get a
have that
photo of
in
it
them now.
for our viewers. Get down and show where that is once again.
Me?
Well, the other side I wanted to add why Kaibab's down here is when we were viewing the map of the Grand Valley today, and we were talking about those areas that tend to be a little more solid as far as confidence in that you have the canyon winds and you're going to be able to survive these colder years. This is one of those areas. And so for the cold snap to be so cold that it snapped this area, it's a hell of a cold snap.
It was big. And
It was
everywhere.
big.
And there was,
And I remember the day.
yeah.
It was immediately like, oh, it's 60 degrees out, and then boom.
The leaves
Ice
turned
cold.
brown. fell off. We were still harvesting. We were still picking grapes, and we continued to pick them as quick as we could to maintain the quality. And we got everything harvested, but unfortunately, it led to this devastation. But the good news is we'll rebound. We'll be back in production next year.
Just like everything else, right? Some of the biggest devastation in nature becomes the most fertile. And that's the way the cycle works. How do you get these to look like this?
Good question. A lot of work. We had 42 guys working today.
Wow.
And we didn't make a dent on this property. So first we chainsaw, pull all the overwintering structure off. We're going to take all of this bundle. One guy is going to go like this and wrap some tape around it and another tape. And we're going to take this and make a big bundle out of it, because this was a whole vine, producing 15 pounds per vine with a full canopy like these. You take all that energy back to a couple shoots, it's going to be too vigorous. So that will devigorate the vine. Then we're going to come back through after they've lignified. It's a fancy word for gotten woody. And pick 2 nice trunks to bring up just like this. We're going to tie them up. We're going to tie 5 times to here, and then probably 5 times each direction, and that will reestablish the overwintering structure. And then next year, it will fruit again, as long as the Mother Nature is kind to us. So we'll be back in production.
What? You don't get that anywhere else. That's Kaibab Sauvage.
Yeah.
He's dropping knowledge about
Geeking you out.
Well, and go back to, because one of the things you started talking about was how that trunk is almost, it was sounding like it's almost like a tree, where it would remember and have something inside the trunk that would remind you, when you cut it, of other past storms or past freezes?
Absolutely, and these have that from this year, so these will be less adept at taking future frost events, because that's cumulative. You get a little pie shape out of there each year, and once the pie is too big, the vine will collapse, because the vascular tissue can't keep up with all of the what it's plumbing. It has to supply enough of the liquids to keep the plant going.
So a wasp just landed. It reminds me. What kind of insect issues do you have? Do you have any insect issues out here?
We're pretty fortunate. We're high desert. We're dry. You like those tendrils? Mm-hmm. These are called tendrils. That's how the vine climbs. They're when they touch something, they actually start curling, and they'll curl, and then that's how the vine, because vines grew on the forest floor, and that's how they climbed up out of the forest, was with their tendrils.
So just vines, and then leaves will go off the tendril, and they'll just continue from there to bushel.
Yeah. So I mean, your fruit's back here, way at the base, because this is this year's growth. So we started with a bud. This is next year's buds. These guys, we started with a bud. Inside this bud, it's amazing. There's a shoot and 2 clusters in every single bud, and so that's how we set our crop, is by pruning them. It's pretty amazing what vines do.
I just got a text, and it must be another fan, but Jake from Farm Box Food, he's going to be meeting us in Paonia for our summer solstice party on Sunday.
Nice.
Grab some wine for me. I'll pay you tomorrow. That's what it's all about. That's what's up. Come here, Patrick. You love this too.
Yeah,
Speak about Colorado wine, the importance of it.
Oh, the trajectory we are on is quite amazing. Everyone's put all this hard work into Colorado wine and producing premium grapes. So it's very devastating right now to our industry. So we just hope that everyone could keep supporting Colorado wine. All these small families, small businesses, just keep drinking it, and it's getting better, and it's amazing. So go out there and buy some Colorado wine. That's what I can.
That's key, is that yes, we lost this year's crop, most of it, but we still have wine, because we've been making wine for, everybody knows it takes a year or 2 to make wine, and we'll keep having wine. And so keep supporting these Colorado wineries. That's huge. That's the biggest thing people can do to help right now.
Is it out of pity, or do we have great wine?
Oh man, I think you know the answer to
Check
that.
the reviews.
Yeah, proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
The reviews. Look around on this hot day in Colorado, and just the stories. I don't know, just the community and us together, and your expertise and your talents as well. That's what makes these products.
Well, the modern eater support. You guys are rad. You're amazing.
We're
You're
Jay
highlighting
Parker
us right now.
with the
Thank
camera,
you. Jay
right?
Parker's on it.
Absolutely. Principality, come on over
Yeah,
here.
get in here.
Get in here.
Mosa bomb.
He's been a great host to us, and thanks for having us there. We're going to cook tonight at your place, outdoor cooking.
What are we eating?
You coming by?
Oh,
We're
no.
in Colorado.
Have you ready to come by? 8
listen,
o'clock on
that's
the
what I was
dime.
about to do. I was
Yeah.
about to invite you over. Personal invitation, both of you. We'd be pretty insulted if you don't show up. How do you like
So
that
just
kind
at
of
the tap
pressure?
room.
Okay.
Tap room, what we're looking at 8 o'clock, the sun's just going to start
Oh, it'll be
setting,
beautiful.
and it's going to be gorgeous.
We've got Colorado beef. We've got Colorado spices.
Dang.
We've got Colorado cheese. We've got.
We're about to go
Colorado
to
dairy.
James's place, James Sanders' place.
Talk
and
about
see if
that.
we can
Where are we
get-
going next?
So we're going to Palisade Peach Shack.
Yep.
And we're going to go get some local fruit and vegetables to add to the meal tonight.
Beautiful.
But everything is going to be Colorado, and it's all about getting fresh ingredients from the area to throw together in one meal. It's going to be fantastic.
I understand you had your hands on some apricots today.
Yeah. Take whatever you guys need. Yeah.
I don't know,
Freshly
Brian.
picked this morning.
I always look for Brian, and Brian geeks out on this. He's the farm whisperer.
He
and,
is.
Just loves this stuff. But Kai Bab, these guys, you're in awe of all of these guys here.
We're in awe of Brian. He's a rad guy. Tell us more.
I mean, the feeling is mutual. It's we all serve a purpose in the chain. You know, I mean, all of us have really fit and been an integral part of, Colorado ag. And that's what I think we celebrate so well on this road trip and then with the dinner series, because it's about really going out, getting this story from you guys.
So true.
Who, so rarely do you get to tell your story, and do people get to see sort of behind the scenes at the farm, the distillery, the winery, all of it. It's so I think it's just, to me, this is like the culmination of everything I've been working on for 25 years of my life, is to being able to give you guys this. And thank Greg and the Modern Eater, because you guys have, Jay.
You know what's
you guys
not
have made
acceptable,
this.
though? An empty
Sweat?
cup.
Oh, let's go take care of that.
Damn it, sweating.
I'm like,
It's
sweat.
100-degree day. Seriously, you're not sweating at all? You got that brand new hat on that you're going to get a
And
sweat
no
ring
sweat
on.
marks. No sweat marks.
I
You know
hate
you-
the
I'm
sweat
I'm used
marks.
to the heat, man.
Yeah.
I'm used to the heat.
Mine's getting there.
You spend enough time out
Charles,
there.
I
You'll
can't
get
see
it.
you.
I'm
Yes, I.
still really bright.
Desert brown.
I don't want to get lost.
Oh my goodness! What a great tour today at Talbot's, and then when Charlie jumped in, showed us around the office, and what a cool day. Palisade has not disappointed at all. We've got a couple of more stops. You guys hope to see you for dinner. No pressure. Please be there.
None. We'll be there.
Cool. All right, we're going to kick the rock on down the road. We got a couple of more places to stop. No word from Blaine, the tomato guy,
No, but
yet
we did go. We're going to James.
from
James
Carboy.
James just texted.
Jay's saying stop. We're going to stop. I hope you appreciated this. I know I did. I like to see the progression. Look at last year's video when we were here at Sauvage Spectrum. They've grown so much, and they will continue to. What's the name of this lane again?
The Harvest Lane.
Isn't it called something?
We're in the Savage Block.
That's it.
But this is where the Harvest House parks, so we
All
call
right.
it Harvest Lane.
Yeah.
Bring your camper.
Bring your camper, yes. All right, we'll be back at James's, the
Palisade Peach Shack.
That's
Got
it.
it.
Next.